Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode review. This one's going to be for Season 3, Episode 5, In Dreams. And yeah, this was, I suppose it's just, it continues on what I consider to be the very disappointing beginning to Season 3 of the show. This was just another one-off episode dealing with another monster thing that comes out of nowhere, messes with the turtles, leaves, nothing's accomplished. Like, that's what this episode was. And this pattern formula is becoming really tired really quickly. Like, I actually had to look up after I watched this episode, just before recording this video, what number episode this actually was. My guess was that it was like episode 8 or 9. And then I checked and it was actually just episode 5, and I was just like, this season has felt so long because so little has happened in those episodes, and it just I hope the series gets better quickly. Next episode is going to be dealing with that mutant car thing from the end of the last episode, so maybe that episode will be so crazy it'll be actually good, but as I said before, the sooner they get back to New York City and address the plot, the better. In terms of what this episode was actually about, it tried to deal with some things. It tried to deal with Leonardo's injury, and I don't think it really did anything. Like, they just, after last episode where, like, I was just kind of, well, hey, he looks basically healed, they come back and are like, hey, look, he's basically healed. Oh no, he's still injured. He needs rest. He feels better. Like, again, the way they set this up in like interviews was that this was going to be this amazing character arc of Leo coming to terms with his injury and benefiting from however he gets past it. But so far it's just been, I'm healing from an injury. I'm struggling a little bit. And he's not like, nothing character-wise is really happening. I suppose the dream, the fact that he wishes this comet would come and give him powers that instantly heals his injury, says a little bit about it, but really, like, the dreams really played nothing into any sort of character arcs apart from Leonardo and that whole he heals his injury. Besides that, nothing really else was of note with the dreams. And the Dream Beavers themselves were just like, Dream Beavers? Really? Like, again, just the definition of like most of the enemies in this show. They're going to be here for an episode. I assume in season 4 they'll come back for an episode doing something different, and they'll go away and come back in season 5 or something like that. There's nothing important about these mutants, and I don't think they added enough to this episode to make it like a super unique, interesting episode. What I did sort of enjoy about the episode was obviously that they, I suppose, created this kind of backstory for what's up with the Dream Beavers, I suppose, with this guy Bernie and being like a physicist, exploring dreams and stuff like that, and the just that backstory that they sort of gave on the Dream Beavers. I kind of like that they did that, but even so, one episode thing, like, are we ever going to see Bernie again? Are we ever going to see the Dream Beavers again? I don't really know. And then just a fairly weak, conclusion to the thing. Casey smashes the dream plug thing. They appear, and of course, they're not as big as they are in the dreams. And they just run off, and all is well again. And even then, the other thing, like, they're sort of, I suppose, getting back towards the April, Casey, Donatello love triangle thing, and then she kisses Donatello on the cheek again, after they've just explored stuff like in previous episodes, like Donatello saying, I understand that we can never be together, and she says, no, you're my mutant, and kisses him on the cheek there, and now he's confused, and now it's back to normal, and now nothing has actually happened, we're back in square one, and I still don't know what's going on with the relationships. There's still a rivalry between Casey and Donnie, and again, there's potential to do stuff with all these episodes, with all these little things going on, but they're just doing nothing, and they're just like, spinning their wheels here in the same spot. But again, the key thing is just, I suppose, that the show remains enjoyable. I watched the whole episode. I wasn't like bored, but at the same time, my main problem with this season is just that the amount of potential that this show has is just completely being squandered by doing these type of episodes. Like I really just question how anyone can really argue that this is the best way for the series to go given the setup at the end of season 2. At this stage, I think the show is being written pretty badly, that this is the state of affairs in the show right now, that they think this is good. And when they eventually get back to doing New York City stuff, these episodes are going to come across as the most filler episodes ever. But we'll see where it goes. There's obvious potential. A season 2 finale took me by surprise with how good it was. Hopefully there's some episodes during the rest of this season that does the same. But other than that, interesting parts of the episode, I suppose April using her kind of psychic powers that are still unexplained to kind of go into the turtles' dreams and kind of tell them to wake up was interesting. But again, nothing massively of note happened. I suppose, there's some interesting visual stuff they did in the dreams, like when they had the little sequence with the comic book panels. That was quite nice. But again, there's nothing super of note in the dreams. I suppose they played on Raph's fears, they played on how kind of silly Mikey is. Donnie in New York City, I'm not really sure what that was about. It was nice to see New York again. And then Leo with his injuries. But there was nothing overly impressive about it. Maybe if this was the Rat King guy, manipulating their dreams, it would have explored some of their darkest fears or stuff like that. But even then, I think they've already done that before. The amount of episodes where a mutant has come in, used his power on one or a few of the characters, and then the other characters have to try and deal with it, is pretty insane right now. There's been the episodes with the zombies, and then they've kind of done a variation on zombies a couple of times, and stuff like that. I think they might have even done the kind of dream hallucination thing already in the earlier seasons. So it's not even that it's incredibly original, but yeah, this in dreams, this episode again just continues on what I consider to be a fairly weak start to season 3. I hope it gets better sooner rather than later. Next episode, I'm kind of looking forward to it just because of how absurd this kind of mutant car idea sounds. But again, I have a feeling it's going to be another one of the things where how on earth are you going to make this plot with a mutant car relate into the plot at large? They're saying that the next episode is, I suppose, meant to be Casey and Donnie bonding. So unless we get a good few scenes where those two actually address the fact that they're kind of competing for April's affections, I'm not really sure where the episode is going. And again, I just keep bringing this up, but it's like they've forgotten that all of the stuff going on in New York, and that Endgame eventually is going to have to be them getting back to New York and saving the city from the Krang. Where are the Krang? Where's Shredder? Where are the villains? Why is the show completely focused on the Turtles right now when so much other stuff going on? There's realistically, in this season, apart from the episode that addressed April's mother, and even then they kind of tricked you a bit with the fact that it was a Krang thing, but you still got some information on April's mother in April. There hasn't been a massive amount of anything important going on in this season. I keep calling it books, but yeah, it's just, I want this show to be so much better because I do really like it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't review it, but I'm reviewing it now just based on my hope that it gets better. But really needs to happen sooner rather than later. But again, the 26th episode in the season, I just found that out. I just looked on the wiki and it's season 4 that's the one with 20 episodes, and season 3 still has 26. So there's over 20 episodes to go, so I don't have that much hope in the next couple of episodes that it's going to get really good. But hopefully as we approach the halfway point, they start to bring more plot into it, because I'm I'm starting to really want just 20 episodes in the season because they're just wasting these episodes. But yeah, that's been my thoughts on the episode. In the comments, let me know if you appreciated the episode more than I did and stuff like that. But and I suppose really let me know what your thoughts have been on the season overall. Um, I'm obviously coming at this as like a big Korra fan, and like that's like one of the best like character plot focus shows on TV. Um, and so when I like reviewed that episode yesterday, I'm like, it's got really cool character stuff. There's lots of plot going on, lots of different stuff happening, and then it comes to Turtles, and it's had more episodes than Korra already, and it's doing so much less in every episode that just like Korra just comes across as so much better than Turtles. I'm just really like, please take a note from Korra's book and make it more plot focused. And I hope that's what they're doing in season 4, with 6 less episodes. But that's been the review. Thanks for watching, and bye.